Bram, another question. How do you see the importance of tactical forecasting for the finance department and people in finance?
Good question. Well, my experience with finance is that they are under huge pressure from outside markets. And at the same time, they lack, let's say, adequate means to really come up with a good forecast. I've heard multiple CFOs or VPs of investor relations saying like, I go around the company mid-June asking people like, where will we end at the end of this quarter? People give me a number, and then only 2 weeks later, at the end of June, I find out that the number is that I communicated and I got from the people is completely off. So they are really facing like a black box issue because they try to come up with a prediction, and they need to come up with a prediction because they need to communicate that to financial markets, but they don't understand what is really driving the demand for the sales, and that creates a huge trust issue because it's also common in financial, in the financial world that your equity story, if you want to brand yourself as an organization, you need to instill trust on investors, and you cannot instill trust on investors if you make a prediction mid-June, which by the end of June seems to be off with 5 or with 10%. And I'm surprised that in the financial community, people have not been looking at what is really driving the demand earlier. I'm not sure how that comes, maybe because historically markets were a bit more stable, or maybe because historically investors were less demanding in understanding what is driving the demand, and investors have become more critical. But in any case, if I compare that to marketing, it's clear that people in marketing or strategic marketing have been analyzing what are market drivers and demand drivers for years. They also buy a lot of external reports and data from market research firms on how are markets developing, in which type of direction, and what will that do with us as a company. And I believe there's a big opportunity for the finance community to make that type of, or take that type of models more from a long-term strategic perspective to a somewhat shorter tactical horizon, to better understand what is really also driving the short-term demand, but based on demand drivers, not just on estimates from a salesperson, because that salesperson, well, whether he will close a deal, yes or no, up to the individual salesperson, there might be quite some uncertainty, but trying to capture the structural elements by capturing structural demand drivers, tying that into the financial forecasting, and being able to better explain to investors like, yes, this is the expectation, and in the end it didn't turn out that way because you can clearly see that those and those and those type of drivers unexpectedly negatively affected our demand and our net sales. But at the same time, these drivers are now predicting this or that type of uplift, and we will be able to give an extra update around that period in time, because we know that those type of indicators will be updated around that period of time. So together we will work around the uncertainty we have in our selling markets, but based on a better mutual understanding of what is really driving the demand. I think that can certainly significantly improve that equity story and instill more trust, and in that sense lead to better relationships with that financial ecosystem and with the investors around your company.
Okay, I guess it all comes back to that integrated approach and creating an insightful company across the different departments. Thank you.